system? No. Then it must be Nature Garden Live.
Welcome back to another episode of Nature Garden Live. My name's Paul Samuels. I'm a wildlife and documentary filmmaker and I live in East London. Earlier on in the month I might have been wearing this as a rain hat, but today I'm wearing it as a sun hat, which is great. A year ago we had been in lockdown for a month by now, I think, and our gardens were a refuge for us under those conditions. Well, what I'm hoping to do here, and what I'm suggesting you might do, is to make a refuge for nature in the long term. Having had rain at the beginning of the month, everything is very green and getting quite tall. I've got a mixture of colour through buttercups, forget-me-not, speedwell, red campion. Over in the pond I've got these glorious irises. There's another basket of them here which is a slightly bluer colour, and these are yellow ones which are just beginning to show through. So lots growing. The daisies this year, probably because of no mow May, have been incredible in my local park, and I've got quite a few, I'm very pleased to say. Now, because the temperatures are only just rising, we've not had a lot of insect activity anywhere, and I've certainly noticed that here in my garden. There have been one or two butterflies. I've had, yesterday I was filming some small blues, whether they're small blues, common blues or holly blues, I'm not sure yet till I have a better look at it. I've had a small rat family, not entirely what I had in mind when I put up this bird feeding station, but I suppose they're part of the environment and have their place in the ecosystem. Unfortunately, the liner is showing signs of wear and tear because it's at the end of its useful life. I put this pond in about 20 years ago, and most people acknowledge that a pond liner has a lifespan of between 20-25 years. So a part of my long-term plans will be to re-site the pond over here. Here is the wildflower meadow from last year, and earlier on when we had colder weather, I spent a time going back to basics and fundamentals. I took off all the turf, which I piled up over here, and it's got its own little ecosystem now, I'm glad to say. And then I dug over the whole thing, raked it to a nice fine tilth, and sowed some native wildflowers, which I'm hoping, as the green seems to tell me, they have germinated, and I'll be seeing what's what in a few weeks' time. After having sowed the seed, I needed to protect it from the local bird life. They had plenty to feed on my feeders there, so I covered it with netting, which I kept off the ground so the birds weren't tempted to walk in and get stuck. And since then I've taken it away when they were established, and now you can see that everything is beginning to grow quite strongly. So things are certainly getting underway this year, and in the rest of this episode what I'd like to concentrate on is some of the individual items I've mentioned and have a look at them in slightly greater depth. It's quite awkward for us to access that part of nature which small mammals like my rat family experience every day. If we want to, it means we have to get down and dirty. but it's worth it. This is especially the case with the mature garden pond. The best things frequently lie hidden, particularly predators. In what I might call Middle Earth, we find delights like grass seed heads. They're one of my botanical favourites. They come in all shapes and sizes, but are always a magical sight. But you need to spend time looking carefully at their different delicate structures and geometric shapes to truly appreciate their beauty. Seed-eating birds already know this. In the upper level of our garden ecosystem, we find an enormous variety of flowers which provide nectar and other food opportunities for insects. These dog roses come from the same stock as the red floribunda next to them. They have reverted to their wild origins, however. Bees are a vital part of our environment, and it is often said that without bees there will quickly be no humans. In watching and filming them, I have come to realise how appropriate the term busy as a bee truly is. Well, I hope that's given you some kind of inspiration or encouragement to make a home for nature, whether you've not started yet or whether you have already set aside some part of your garden for nature. There's always something more you can do, whether you have an acre or if it's just a balcony. You can provide for your local wildlife. Well, the next episode is going to be in July, when I hope to be able to show you some more species that are summer oriented. And in the meantime, thanks for watching and enjoy your gardens.